And it has arrived today, delivering Twitter storm. LA Bannerman and Young Turks intern, Dan Evans Nakamura.
Hello, humans.
How you doing, Dan?
I'm good. How are you, Cenk?
Good. I like your handle, Dan from the internet.
Yeah, it's kind of like, that's me.
That's it. That's it. Dan from the internet, right there.
Unless you know me in real life, then it's kind of, then I'm Dan from real life. Whatever. Can we go?
All right, Dan, what do we got?
Okay, first question from Jake Calvin. Do you think you would still be a conservative if you decide to remain a lawyer?
No. First of all, I wasn't going to remain a lawyer. I hated it. Second of all, you know, sometimes Dave Kohler here, who's a friend of mine for over 30 years, helped start this company, gives me crap for changing from Republican to lawyer. That was funny, Freudian slip. From Republican to Democrat. And he's like, oh yeah, you changed your mind. Yeah, I did, yeah. You see, like when you see facts and then you can change, that's generally a good thing, not a bad thing. That's when I saw the facts of who I would have to represent as a lawyer, including corporate CEOs who would rip people off. That was actually literally my job as a corporate lawyer. I was like, I'm going to change and not be a lawyer anymore. And when I saw the facts of what the Republicans were actually doing, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and change and not be a Republican anymore. So yes, I think I would have changed under any circumstance. Next.
Second question from Rusty Shackelford. What is the funniest way someone has mispronounced your name?
Well, I mean, there's a million, like Cenk yogurt and all that, right? So, but I remember when I was playing high school football, our local public access carried the games. And they kept butchering my name. They said it a different way literally in every game. So finally, I pulled the announcers aside one day before a game. I'm like, listen, man, I know it doesn't matter and stuff. But here, let's just, if you humor me, it's Cenk, like short for Jenkins, Cenk. That's easy, right? Euger, like you-ger. They're like, oh, thanks for letting us know, man. We really appreciate it. So next game, I'm getting a bunch of tackles, and they start talking about me. And they talked about how the football coach actually joined practice, and no one wanted to hit him. He put on pads, except I hit him. Okay, I didn't like him much anyway. He came over the middle, and I just hammered him, right? And they're telling that story, and they're like, that's Cenk Weiger. He'll hit anybody. But you know, they were right about that. That's Cenk Weiger, he will hit anybody. All right, next.
This question from Sirocco Moonglade. What makes you think Congress will ever care about an anti-money amendment? They've trashed every other amendment.
Well, you're right. That's why we don't give a damn about them, and we're not going through them. The way that Wolfpack works is we go to the states and we circumvent Congress. There's two ways to get an amendment. One is through Congress. Screw them. They're never going to do it. You're absolutely right about that. There's a second way in the Constitution. You get 2/3 of the states to call for a convention to talk about it and propose a specific amendment. That's the path we've chosen. So thank you for agreeing with us. Wolf-pack.com. Next.
Drink. Jay Wang asks, back when you were a Republican, do you consider yourself a Lincoln, Rockefeller, Eisenhower, or Reagan Republican?
Okay, there's a lot of names in there. No, I consider myself a Kane Republican. If you remember Governor Kane from New Jersey, well, I was going to say congratulations, but really, is that something to congratulate you over? Okay, anyway, Thomas Kane, he was a liberal Republican, and back then, liberal Republicans existed. We were socially liberal and fiscally conservative until we realized that the Republicans were not fiscally conservative. So, oh well, and liberal Republicans don't exist anymore, but that's what I was. Next.
I almost thought you said Herman Cain Republican, and I was like...
Oh, that would be different. No. Thomas Kane.
That's a change. Okay, Kafka Palazzo says, hey, Cenk, do you think the government has a file on you and the Young Turks?
I don't know. Let's ask Edward Snowden. Look, it depends on how many files they keep. If they keep like 17 files, no way. Okay, if they keep like, I don't know, like 1.5 million files, probably. I don't know. I have no idea what's in it. They've never told me. Okay, next.
Hope they're not watching the post games.
Watch out, Dan from the internet / Dan from Twitter Storm. Maybe they start a file on you.
Oh, any of my friends know that's a disaster. Last question from Alberto. I would like to know, Cenk, you of the Young Turks, what the fuck is the Voltramax scandal?
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know? Sorry, we know what you're up to, mister, and it's Voltramax. We're never going to let the Republicans forget about it. Voltramax! The storm is gone.